21. Tomahawk. The tomahawk is a type of axe native to the indigenous peoples of North America, commonly used both as a hand tool and as a weapon. The traditional tomahawk's head was originally made from stone and later evolved to incorporate European metal forging techniques after contact. The wooden handle was usually crafted from a straight branch, giving the weapon a lightweight and balanced feel suitable for throwing or close-quarters combat. Tomahawks were not only practical tools for hunting and chopping but also played significant roles in tribal ceremonies and as diplomatic gifts. In combat, the tomahawk was prized for its versatility, capable of deadly force in close combat and effective as a thrown weapon. Its symbolic importance and practical effectiveness made it a lasting symbol of Native American heritage and warfare. 22. Mace. The mace is an ancient and medieval weapon that consists of a strong, heavy wooden or metal shaft with a head made of stone, copper, bronze, iron, or steel. The head of the mace often featured flanges or knobs to penetrate armor and inflict more damage. The mace was used throughout Europe, the Middle East, and Asia, evolving from a ceremonial object into a formidable weapon of war. Its primary use was in close combat, and it was particularly effective against opponents in heavy armor. The mace could crush armor and inflict serious injuries through blunt force, making it a favorite weapon of cavalry and infantry alike. The simplicity of its use, requiring less training than a sword or bow, made it accessible and deadly in the hands of both professional soldiers and less trained militia. Click subscribe to this channel to get more topics you love. 23. Sarissa. The sarissa was a long spear or pike used in ancient Macedonia under the rule of Philip II and Alexander the Great. Typically over 13 feet in length, the sarissa was wielded by phalanx infantry formations, providing a significant reach advantage over enemy forces. This formidable weapon required both hands to use and was employed in tight, disciplined phalanx rows, making it nearly impossible for opponents to engage Macedonian infantry at close range. The effectiveness of the sarissa phalanx was demonstrated in numerous battles throughout Alexander's conquests, where it played a crucial role in defeating larger enemy forces. Its length and the coordinated use in mass formations exemplify the military innovations of the Macedonian army that dominated ancient battlefields. 24. Kris. The kris is a distinctive, wavy-bladed dagger indigenous to the cultures of Southeast Asia, particularly among the Malay and Indonesian peoples. The kris is both a weapon and a spiritual object, believed to possess an essence or presence, with some blades treated as talismanic objects imbued with magical powers. The intricate blade is often made through a sophisticated forging process that involves layering different types of metal. Historically, the kris was used as a personal weapon for self-defense and as a ceremonial item carried in rituals and important events. Its unique morphology allows for both cutting and stabbing motions, and the craftsmanship of each kris reflects the cultural and spiritual significance it holds in local traditions. The kris is not merely a weapon but a symbol of power, pride, and artistry. 25. Zweihänder. The Zweihänder, or two-hander, is a large two-handed sword predominantly used in the late Middle Ages and Renaissance. This massive sword could reach up to 6 feet in length and was capable of dealing significant damage with both its size and weight, allowing it to break through enemy pike lines and engage multiple opponents simultaneously. Historically, the Zweihänder was famously wielded by the German mercenaries known as Landsknechts. These soldiers were known for their daring and fearless approach in battle, and the Zweihänder became a symbol of their might and skill. The sword required considerable strength and skill to wield effectively, making those capable of doing so highly respected and feared on the battlefield. 26. Atlatl. The Atlatl, also known as a spear thrower, is an ancient weapon used by various cultures around the world, particularly prominent in prehistoric times. This tool effectively extends the arm of the user, allowing for the throwing of darts or spears with greater force and accuracy than possible with the bare hand. The Atlatl consists of a shaft with a hook at one end where the spear is set, and the other end is held and swung to launch the spear. This weapon was crucial for early hunters, providing them the ability to kill or incapacitate large animals from a safer distance. The Atlatl's use is evident in archaeological sites across the Americas, Australia, and Europe, underscoring its importance in prehistoric human subsistence and warfare strategies. Its invention marks a significant leap in human technological evolution, showcasing early innovative approaches to survival and combat. 27. Claymore. The claymore is a type of large two-handed sword from Scotland, used from the 15th to 17th centuries. Characterized by its distinctive forward-sloping quillons with caterfoil ends and a long, double-edged blade, the claymore was a symbol of Scottish warriors. It was primarily used in the tumultuous clan warfare and against English incursion during the periods of Scottish resistance. The claymore was not just a battlefield weapon but also a ceremonial and symbolic object, deeply embedded in the culture of Scottish Highland warriors. Its size and weight required considerable skill and physical strength, making its wielders formidable opponents in battle. The claymore is often associated with the fierce independence of Scottish history and its struggles against external domination. 28. Pata. The pata, or gauntlet sword, is a traditional Indian weapon that combines a sword blade with a gauntlet-like handguard. Used primarily in the Maratha Empire during the 16th to 18th centuries, the pata was designed to protect the wrist and hand of the wielder, allowing for a secure grip while fighting. The blade extends from the gauntlet and is typically straight and double-edged, suitable for slashing and thrusting. The pata was used both on foot and on horseback, its design making it particularly effective in cavalry charges. It is a unique example of Indian martial innovation, reflecting the specific needs and tactics of Maratha warriors during a period of intense regional conflict. The pata not only served as a practical weapon of war but also as an emblem of martial prowess and aristocratic status. 29. Katar. The Katar, or punch dagger, is a South Asian weapon that is held in the fist, allowing the blade to extend from the knuckles. Known for its distinctive H-shaped horizontal hand grip, the Katar provides a very stable and penetrative thrust. Originally developed in Tamil Nadu, this weapon spread throughout India and was used as both a primary and a secondary weapon in battle. The Katar was renowned for its ability to pierce armor and cause devastating injuries, even with relatively small movements from the wielder. It became a popular weapon among Rajput and Sikh warriors, often decorated elaborately and used in ceremonial contexts as well. The Katar exemplifies the sophisticated metalworking skills of South Asian artisans and the brutal effectiveness sought in close combat weaponry. 30. Jian. The Jian is an ancient Chinese sword, known for its straight, double-edged blade, making it ideal for stabbing and slashing. Often referred to as the gentleman of weapons, the Jian has been part of Chinese armament and culture for over 2,500 years. It is one of the four major weapons, along with the gun, staff, dao, saber, and chang, spear, in Chinese martial arts. The Jian's elegant design and balanced handling made it a favored weapon among scholars and warriors alike. It was not only a weapon of war but also a symbol of personal virtue and martial skill. The Jian appears frequently in Chinese literature and art, reflecting its significant role in both the physical and philosophical aspects of Chinese culture. 31. Halberd. The halberd is a versatile pole weapon that was popular in Europe during the 14th to 17th centuries. It combines elements of a spear, axe, and hook, making it effective for thrusting, chopping, and even pulling riders off their horses. Typically about 5 to 6 feet in length, the halberd was a favored weapon among foot soldiers for its ability to counter cavalry and penetrate armor. The strategic design of the halberd allowed infantry to perform multiple combat functions with a single weapon. It played a crucial role in the Swiss armies, notably in shaping the tactics that would dominate European battlefields during its period of use. The halberd exemplifies the medieval shift towards more versatile and adaptable combat tools in response to the changing dynamics of warfare. 32. Flail. The flail is a medieval weapon consisting of one or more weights attached to a handle by a chain. Originally derived from agricultural tools used for threshing grain, the weaponized version was designed to strike over or around shields and armor. The flail could be unpredictable and required considerable skill to use effectively without injuring oneself. While its actual prevalence in medieval combat is debated among historians, the flail remains a potent symbol of the brutal and chaotic nature of medieval warfare. Its iconic status is often represented in films and literature, where it is depicted as a fearsome weapon of the European knightly arsenal. 33. Tachi. The tachi is a traditional Japanese sword, longer and more curved than the well-known katana. Developed in the late Heian period, the tachi was designed primarily for samurai cavalry engagements. Worn suspended with the edge downward, it was particularly effective for slashing attacks during cavalry charges. The craftsmanship of the tachi, like other Japanese swords, involved a complex forging process that resulted in a blade both resilient and capable of a sharp edge. The tachi not only served as a battlefield weapon but also held great ceremonial value, often beautifully decorated and considered a symbol of samurai status. 34. Estoc. The estoc, or thrusting sword, is a type of European longsword designed primarily for delivering powerful thrusts against armored opponents. Unlike typical swords, the estoc had a stiff, pointed, and often edgeless blade, making it ideal for penetrating gaps in plate armor. Used from the late Middle Ages through the Renaissance, the estoc was both a mounted and foot soldier's weapon. Its effectiveness in close combat, particularly in the cramped melee of a battlefield, made it a valuable tool against the increasingly sophisticated armor of the period. 35. Nunchaku. The nunchaku is a traditional Okinawan weapon consisting of two sticks connected at one end by a short chain or rope. Originally a farming tool used to thresh rice or soybeans, it was adapted into a martial arts weapon. The nunchaku is famous for its versatility and the skill required to wield it effectively, capable of striking, blocking, and trapping techniques. Popularized worldwide by martial arts films, especially those featuring Bruce Lee, the nunchaku is as much a cultural icon as it is a weapon. Its use in martial arts demonstrates the adaptability of everyday tools for defense and the high degree of skill and agility required to master such a weapon.